Kendrick Lamar is regarded as the most powerful man in rap today. With an entire state behind him, he has destroyed streaming records, publicly executed all other competition, and became an icon in the process, all while standing at the underwhelming height of 5'5". As a great man once said, first you get that money, then you get that power, which would explain why a 5'5" man who's a 6 out of 10 could get almost any woman he wants, right? Wrong. With Kendrick's music being so personal to him, we've seen him transform into a man from overly dedicated to GNX. But throughout that entire time span, we've never seen Kendrick Lamar struggle with a woman. Just look at the song No Makeup off of Section 80. A conversation like that means that you're stepping on toes. And only a man with these 5 keys would be able to do something like that. But what are the 5 keys, and how is Kendrick able to succeed with women using them? Well, thankfully, all these questions are answered by Kendrick Lamar in just one verse. And he tells us where most men are going wrong and how to get out of that 44%. My name is Shamsterdam, and today we're going to obtain these 5 keys from Kendrick Lamar and figure out how we can succeed with women by his example. And I think you'll want to watch to the end. The 5th key is by far the most powerful. Now, when I said it was a Kendrick Lamar song, I kind of lied. The song is Doves in the Wind by SZA off of her critically acclaimed album, Control. Now, although we won't be breaking down SZA's beautiful verse on this song, she still provides for an example of how women see and think about Kendrick Lamar. Now, if we go back to right before GNX was released, there was tons of fans pleading for a collab album between SZA and Kendrick. And SZA's response is very telling. SZA simply responded, "You gotta ask the big guy." Huh? Was she talking about God? Because it cannot be Kendrick. Think about it. What other 5'5" man in history has ever been unironically called the big guy? Maybe D'Annunzio, but that's about it. And it's not just SZA. Kendrick got Rihanna to come out of her hibernation to do a song with him, and she's been quoted saying, "You should never doubt Kendrick Lamar." When you're seen like this by your female peers, especially these two, it gives you the first key: respect. Putting it very simply, if a woman doesn't respect you, that relationship or interaction is going nowhere. Now, if you're on the fence about whether or not a girl respects you, there's signs to look for. For example, she's always talking about her exes or previous experiences. She disregards all your boundaries. She even low-key, very low-key sometimes, flirts with others. There's no respect there. Now, if she doesn't respect you off the rip, pack it up. But if you want to build respect among a person or peers in general, I have a very sneaky trick that has helped me loads. The way to do this is to boss up and become absent at the same time. If you notice someone or a group doesn't respect you, distance yourself. They'll unconsciously think that whatever you're doing is more important than them. And when you come back, hopefully after you've improved yourself, they'll be a lot more likely to treat you with more respect. This is why the biggest artists in the world aren't always in the limelight. Not only is it tiring, it kind of takes away from their mystery and their allure. So getting into Kendrick's verse on Doves in the Wind, he starts off the song by saying, "Niggas will lose their mind for, wine for, dine for, pussy, spend time for, see no colored lines for, pussy, double back, handicap, and go blind for." Even if you don't want to admit it, this is definitely true. Men have historically been crash outs when it comes to Napoleon Bonaparte, another powerful short king, had a wife named Josephine. Despite her being known as a promiscuous woman to say the least, he still married her. Everything was fine when they got together, but as time went on and Napoleon had to be away for more time, things started to change between them. Josephine started being cold to him, not sending him letters for months, and even cheating on him while he was gone. Damn. Now, even knowing this, Napoleon did everything he could to make Josephine happy. And even on his deathbed, he used his last words to mutter her name just one last time. Damn. Now, 200 years later, men have not changed. And if they have, it's for the worse. You know what's bad when in 2024, OF made more money than the NBA. Being enthralled by a woman so much that she's able to manipulate you like that only has one solution. She needs to know you have the second key, the key of options. Now, I know that might sound a bit toxic, but let me cook. Let's say you have a job, and whether you put in 0% or 100% effort, your paychecks are the exact same. What's the incentive to working harder? It's the same thing with women. If she knows that she's the best thing that's ever happened to you, what's the incentive for her respecting you, being submissive to you, or shit, even being friendly to you? She knows that you're not going anywhere, bucko. Now, I'm not saying to act on those options. You might be able to even get away with not having them as long as she knows that you very easily could. Another way of looking at it is letting her know that you don't need her. You want her. Something very powerful. Kendrick goes on to talk about the characteristics of a woman that men don't often think of when it comes to the pursuit of. Now, if I told you someone or something has endless prisoners, loves revenge, is calculated, dangerous, facetious, and call them the heavyweight champ, would you mess around with them? Hell no. These characteristics that Kendrick used for women are very powerful words, and it lets you know, don't take women lightly in the pursuit of sex.
You will pay the price.
My favorite out of all these adjectives is the heavyweight champ. If you didn't know, the heavier the weight class in combat sports, the more knockouts there are. One misstep or one overreaching punch, and that could be the end of the night. As great as that comparison is, there's one of these lines that stick out if your vocabulary game isn't A1. My vocabulary game isn't A1. Can be so facetious. But what does facetious even mean? To be facetious means to treat something that is serious in a non-serious manner. So basically, what Kendrick is saying is you could be being very serious with a woman. You're mad at her for cheating, or you want her to feel how serious that you're taking her, and she just appears nonchalant about it all. If you've been through this, it is hell to deal with, which is why you need the third key, the key of Stoicism. Stoicism is the endurance of pain or hardship without display of feeling and without complaint. Now, Stoicism is just important to life in general, but it helps really good with girls too. If she knows that there's nothing in the world that she can do to get under your skin, it allows you to hold the power in that situation. Now that we've established that can be very dangerous, it doesn't change the fact that we still have to pursue. So with that being the case, Kendrick Lamar in the following lines tells us what not to do if we really want to acquire La Cooch. I mean, the pump fakes on the Facebook and the screw face when Bay looks won't get you no. I mean, the fake chains and the code names for insecure are gonna reassure you not to get. You overcompensate too much for the. You like to throw all kind of shades for the. See, that's what niggas do. I know the ways of and I see looking at you. The very last line out of these particular lyrics is a double entendre. It has two meanings. A, it means when I look at you, I see a sensitive, overreactive, feminine being.
I see women looking at you, but you're not making any moves or advancements.
I feel like he's specifically calling out the men who like to talk a lot of shit about women and try to trash them when they don't do anything to increase their value in themselves. These guys are insecure and reactive and just sad people to be around. Why would anyone, much less a woman, want to be around them? Now, the most peculiar line in the song, one that stuck out the very first time I listened to it, reads, "How many niggas get mistaken for clitoris in a day?" I searched endlessly, and there seems to be no real explanation for this line, so let me provide my own. Y'all ready for an anatomy lesson? I have to choose my words very carefully. I don't want to get. Clitoris is the most sensitive part of the female reproductive region. It has more than double the nerves than the tip of the man's region. So by saying that, I think he's hinting at men just being overly sensitive.
How many sentiments you make before running pussy away?
Key number 4, the key of listening. When you're trying to court a woman, you should be doing much more listening than talking. Western society is becoming more narcissistic by the day, meaning people love talking about themselves. Instead of being mad and complaining about something that's happening on a large scale that you cannot change, use it to your advantage. The more you let someone talk about themselves around you, the more comfortable they feel, and the better that they feel the interaction is going. Now, she should be asking you questions too and giving you opportunities to talk. And if she doesn't, slide out of there, my boy. But doing all that excess yapping yourself, talking about how great or not great your life is, it leads you to say something that they might not be ready to hear just yet. I'm teaching you history, anatomy, and how to talk to the huz at the same time, and you haven't subbed? What more do you want, Gango? We've made it to the most important, most vital, most crucial part of the song, and it's where we're gonna get our fifth and final key. Kendrick says, how many times she gotta tell you that dick is disposable? But if she a young nigga like me, it's over for you. The key is to be more than just dick. Be a person she can talk to, a problem solver, a source for something that she can't get anywhere else. It could be love, it could be a spiritual experience, but be more than just an organ looking to satisfy another organ. I put a poll up and I was really shocked to see how many of my subs were struggling with this issue. So I wanted to make a video to kind of help you guys out. I know a lot of us are in that 18 to 25 range, which is a tough time in life, and I hope this video helps you. If you were that small percentage of people that clicked friends though, make sure to watch this video right here. I love y'all.